Trump's energy stocks will help you retire early. This stock is US based. It makes domestic trucks like the Peterbilt brand. You've probably seen that on the highway, semi trucks with Peterbilt on the front of them. They also make parts, and they're heavily involved in the AI. They make powertrains, which could be used down the road. Don't quote me on this, but to create power generation for AI data centers, similar to how Bloom Energy has those. Of course, this is a different technology, so GE Vernova is maybe a better analog. They've recently had a big move. They just had generators as a small piece of their business, and then that blew up with data centers. But this company, PACCAR is the ticker, PACCAR, they don't necessarily need to ride the data center wave. They're already riding the electrification wave, the electric vehicle wave, if that comes to fruition under the Trump administration. They make fuel cell. Well, we'll look at exactly what they make. They make battery cells. And they also have their hands in, domestic manufacturing, which is helped by tariffs. So depending on how Trump is whipsawing back and forth between, isolationism, I guess you could say, or nationalism, or pride, or maybe he gets back in bed with Elon and does the whole electrification EV thing, and that's a boon for this company. This company kind of wins either way. So let's jump into PCAR. There's a lot of other companies that are interesting too. United Airlines, American Airlines, ticker symbols UAL, AAL, as well as the Gap, ticker symbol GAP. So we'll jump into those. JAZZ is another one, and COO, that's a pharmaceutical and a medical device company, respectively. It's not financial advice, but ask your questions. This is live, unless you're seeing this recording.
This is Sam Putnam.
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 All right, so here's the company PCAR. Make like farm, heavy construction. Peterbilt, Kenworth is one that maybe you know. I don't know that one. The Gap is also interesting, and we'll look at that chart, but I want to draw your attention to these other companies as well. This medical instrument company, COO. If you wear contact lenses, you might recognize them. That's probably everyone has eyes, so that's the biggest market, I guess you could say. Fertility and genomics is a little more niche. There's another company that's interesting, JAZZ. That's a pharma company, biotech, and they actually have revenue. They have $8 billion of revenue, $4 billion. Enough where it doesn't exactly matter what the numbers are, but it's not like you're investing in some unproven drug that could just crater on some FDA decision. So they are headquartered in Ireland, but I don't know, a lot of companies are headquartered there for tax reasons, where the IP is in Ireland, and then it doesn't matter for our purposes. They do neurosciences, oncology. This is $4 billion is a big number. So those are the companies, the airline companies, UAL, United Airlines, and American Airlines. I think they look the best. I know that's a lot of ideas I just threw at you. I only meant to throw, I guess, a half dozen is probably enough. But let's look at some of these charts. So Gap has been setting up. All these retail names are just doing awesome. And I think this one might be ready to go. Maybe another tight day. Maybe it keeps going sideways. But today was actually a down day. Well, it wasn't really a down day. It was kind of a sideways day in the market. But we had a gap up, and then we sold off initially. And depending on when you're watching this, it doesn't matter what today was. You know where we're at here. And if these charts look relatively the same, or at least build out more, they'll still be interesting. So if you see us later in the week or whatever, This is a cruise stock that's interesting. I think Viking looks a little more interesting, VIK, but it is nice to see some strength in cruisers along with airlines. Not that those are always correlated, but it kind of makes sense, right? Travel. This looks like nothing. STRL, SITM, not much. MP. I've been thinking about shorts, talking about shorts. I don't want to sully this channel, but I mean, when you see moves that we've had, I'm not just talking about this move from 100 to 50. I'm talking about this like 60 to 50. That's even, it's not quicker. It's safer is maybe the word for it. So ABVX, I don't want to catch a falling knife. This is not interesting. Path is another falling knife. So KNIX, I mean, that's just spiky. This is actually live, so I know I'm supposed to use my newscaster voice or whatever, but hopefully people will chime in with comments. These quantum stocks are not that interesting. Silver, I don't know. Frog pulling back. We'll hit that breakout level, but nothing to do right now. Yeah. Quantums you can't short. Lyft, you could short maybe if it pull up a little bit and then reject it. I know it's not right now. It's weird to talk about shorts on this channel because it's going to really confuse people, including myself. These bottom bouncers are maybe interesting. TTMI selling off. Mid, just day after day of green. Urban's looking awesome, but you could buy off this high volume close, I guess. Cleveland Cliffs. I always forget what this is. It's some sort of mining steel company situation. I don't know about that. PRM. IM. No. SIM is nothing. Warehouse automation. Battery name QS selling off. These are why the shorts just are so captivating. NGD, whatever. APLD getting crushed. Macy's. Retail's holding in there. I mean, I don't know if you can buy it up here, but I don't know. Open is a little scary. A little scary looking on the long side. ALK, I don't know about that. These low quality Bitcoin miner data center turn plays just got wrecked. That's why it's good to have a tight stop. MTN. Looks like this is a Vail Resorts Mountain. It does have an earning close that's playable. Planet. You might be able to play that, but high volume close still. Lemonade is not helping anybody. Let that form more of a base. ANF, that's up too much now. Yeah, Wolf got wrecked as well as Cipher. Same with Riot. You just ignore that turn. Cores is in the data center. Galaxy Crypto is yuck. Retail's rocking. Battery names like QS. EOS got wrecked. Visco's rocking. Can't buy Visco up here. Uranium got owned. LEU turned down. Yeah, we talked about miners getting wrecked. Warby Parker coming down some. I don't know what to do with that one. I mean, 3 big days up and then, yeah. It's a shame because, so this was Friday. Yeah. Just a shame to miss a short like that, but CLSK, just channel sideways that went down. What do you know? WVE, we'll ignore that. It's a big pharma thing. Ondus, yeah, these channels are horrible. They just channel up. BBAI, Palantir want to be down. SEI, no. Rare Earths, no. Optical Electronics, AAOI, not sure about that. So those are the main ones that I've been looking at. I'll show you what else is kind of on the docket. I guess I should obviously show you the stocks I was giving you ideas of in the very beginning. I think COO at a 5-year chart, I mean, this is incredibly choppy, so I probably shouldn't be mentioning this if we're being honest. But I don't know. I mean, it's setting up. It's a little ugly for sure, but you know what? If you have a really small risk, it's definitely viable. It's enough volume. In this Jazz, this biotech company, it's got enough volume as well. So, you know, change your character. You could risk this high and buy that. For COO specifically, I mean, you could risk this low, for example. And then these other ones, UAL, looks pretty awesome, right? Risking this low. AAL, risking this high. Whatever that was exactly. 15.25. So 5 cents to make whatever, $1. I think I just did UAL. Yeah, I just did that right. And then what else? Jazz, we talked about. COO. I'm just so surprised to have these on the list at all. But that's really it. The gap as well. So here's the buy on the gap. Maybe this high, which coincides with this close, 26.80, which is pretty much where we're at. Something like that. So if you can grab that, that could be pretty awesome. Now, there's a lot of stocks that are not on this list. We can throw through them, but definitely want to just check in on this watch list as well. So let's do that. I mean, this is some major stocks, high moving stocks here. Apple is not interesting. Did have that all-time high breakout, but came back a little bit. Talked about AEO. Gold is taking a little pause day here. Probably not touch it tomorrow. FANG's energy stock has incredible strength, but I don't know if you want to buy this. It's kind of a weird move at the end of the day. FCX is copper name. Keeps getting rejected, so it's got to get over that level, I guess, 49. Prax was definitely in the conversation. It just went sideways today, but that remains interesting. ExxonMobil selling off a little bit. If it can hold this channel and just have smaller and smaller range, that'll be awesome. City's hard to buy. It's just too straight up. SoFi, I don't like that. TTMI, I don't like that. IAG is another gold name. Same situation. Teradyne, if it can hold this level. Light, same situation. Just not interested in the networking names right now. They're up too much. Semi name, okay, kind of wiki. This WWD is interesting. Maybe you can risk this high. Or the $300 psychological level. If it gets over there, you can risk that. Rivian's holding in there. A little bit of a failed breakout today, or whatever you call this. You could risk 18.5. This one's still interesting. That was a crazy move. Keys, whatever. Tiva, whatever. ANF, too strong to buy. TVTX, at some point this has got to do something, right? I keep saying it's a biotech, and that might not even be true. But it's been going sideways for weeks. What is a biotech? Does TVTX ticker make money? Because if they do, then you can feel safe putting more than 5%. Yeah, I think you could put a 7% position in it. I'm just super careful to say anything else other than that. Software name, whatever, GCT, the Hong Kong name, HL, I don't know, some failed tops, steel name hanging out there. FedEx is too slow as earnings. Form is interesting. The buy off yesterday's low on that. COGT holding in there. GMAT, I don't know. IONS is interesting. It's a pretty tight couple days. Risk 50 cents on that. to make $5. Even if it false breakouts, you're fine. NTRA is selling off, PPTA, whatever, INDV, some of these names, Devon selling off, Unity selling off. I gotta just get rid of this watch list anyway. TTI is kind of tight. Don't like the networking name strategy is in death zone. I mean, you could short it, but I don't know at this point. FSLR. This is almost worth a short if it can break below that moving average. Growl. If you're aggressive, you could buy this for undercut and move up. Neg selling off. That's another short opportunity. AEIS, ignore that. Visser, ignore that. GSAT, Space. Space finally cooling off after the SpaceX IPO news. Bitfarms, whatever, following the data center, same. Nuclear, same thing. Nuclear, whatever. CCJ, NEM, whatever. OICX we talked about. Quanta is getting ugly. VSAT, another space name. Reddit just down again. So it looked like it was going to bounce on that moving average. Didn't do that. Texas Instruments, no. There's the Mag 7, nothing there. And then the battery name again, APX down. So Estee Lauder selling off. EPAM holding impressively. It's up a lot, but keep an eye on that. We'll see what they do. They do something. IT. So it's relatively not in danger of any massive moves down. Shopify sold off. That's a no. Visco holding in there. ATI, whatever. HUD got wrecked. FTAI wrecked. Galaxy Crypto down. Wilden just inching up. I don't know about that. IBP sold off. And this sold off, whatever. GEV, I don't know about that. Crowd, whatever. Lumen, whatever. My R is yucky. Hood is just getting wrecked. The metals company selling off. GMAB, whatever. EMTM. Kind of interesting. Pretty liquid, but holding up. XT, whatever. Memory names, no from you. Hudson Bay, no. This energy name, no. DQ. Urban Outfitters, kind of a high volume close if you want to buy it, but it just went up like 4 green days in a row. AMD getting wrecked. Rocket Mortgage getting wrecked. Looked like it might find support on this moving average. Nope. Alta, looks like that might lose the high volume close for good. We'll see. I think the cat, this, yeah. Rough last couple of days, but keep an eye on that for maybe an undercut and a move up. QS, battery name we talked about. Dollar Tree is strong. Dollar Tree is almost looking buyable up here. It's up a lot, but I guess TS in the space bucket that got wrecked. There's the iRobot move to $1 on the bankruptcy delisting thing. Impressive strength from Zim with their shipping. That's pretty awesome. Kind of need a sideways day to get into this, but you could get into it. You could. BTU sold off a little bit. BTU is interesting this coming week. Macy's talked about Food to China is done. Circle's done. These Bitcoin names. Copper holding in there. Slow mover, but Ouster, not so nice. The Real is looking like it could go down below that shelf. Baidu. Yikes. CLS got wrecked more. Leibu is still setting up. That looks good. And ALB looks good as well. Chemical name looks real good. ALB. Hondas got wrecked. Wolf got wrecked. Talked about PL. Tesla holding up. This is going to be a tough one. Hopefully it doesn't gap down. T10 holding in there. A high volume close. This T10 could be buyable off. High volume close is so murky. It's kind of weird. Could buy off of the open, hold, buy off of 100. You're aggressive. Bloom got wrecked. Lost that level. Oscar Health. This is the Thrive Capital Company, right? That's doing nothing. So I'm going to do something crazy and just get rid of all these names and start from zero here. Sometimes you just have to clear the plate, you know? Otherwise this list is just going to get unwieldy. It's nice to get rid of iBrobot for one. As much as I wanted Roomba to succeed, you can still buy Roombas, by the way. They're a secured lender. Owns the facilities now. It's too bad Reddit didn't go. That one was looking interesting, but wasn't a strong enough flag. And it's too bad these networking names, COHRLITE, just aren't strong right now. Neither are the memory names. It's not that they're not strong. AAOI in that bucket as well. They're just choppy. So it's nice to get rid of that. Just have a little clean slate. And then as far as like the top, I can tell you how many names this is. This is not a lot of names, like a couple hundred. Here's the scan. Oh, it's actually a lot. It's 350. More than $5. More than 1.5 billion market cap. This is kind of random, but for some reason I had 1.6. 20-day moving average. Daily range. 20-day average daily range is over 2%. And then the average volume is dollar volume is over whatever this is. Whatever that is, 150 million. So you could mess with that. You could put that down at like 100 million and put the daily range up at 3. And I also have, they're above the 200-day moving average, the average of the last 200 days. So that's what I got going this on. This isn't perfect, you know, but 300 stocks is already a lot. I don't know why this is not letting me save this, but save it right there. This is live, unless you're watching this recording. So you can check that out. And then, yeah, we'll get going here on the rest of these stocks. So we just have a few more starting at the top. The biggest ones down to here. I guess we could go from Gap. 300 is a lot, but it's not a crazy amount. Gap definitely looks strong. I don't want to miss out on these, but I definitely don't want to look at stocks that we've already looked at. So 5 big earnings day. AAL is probably the best one. I would keep an eye on that. Yeah, AAL and UAL. Iron talked about, just went down, got wrecked. RMBS got wrecked. Jazz got wrecked. CNM holding up. MKSI holding in there. CDE, whatever. EQX sold off. Natural gas. CMA. Hasbro, whatever. ALGN, whatever. CCK, strong day. Spank. mRNA, whatever. A lot of these are just in no man's land. ACAM, whatever, just ignore WCC. Wayfair, holding in there. And the TSI selling off. Tower Semi is kind of interesting. Home Builder's hanging in there. It's Guardian Health. I think it just moves too slow to be interesting, even though 4%'s a lot. Just like forming a shelf, so there's no need to jump in on a stock that's just going sideways unless it's a shelf, in my opinion, right? I mean, it could just sell off. ITT rebound. RVMD is still interesting. It's just up a ton. BBB, ALB for sure. It's going with Marriott. Roku. Nah. CRS, this is just a choppy one. This one is not a big mover. This is probably, look at like a year-long chart. You can probably see, well, no, it's kind of trends well, actually. I guess it's just that the market has been so choppy the last few weeks that makes that one look bad. What else? IONQ selling off, TLN, TKO. A lot of these are choppy. Yeah, WWD is definitely interesting. WST holding in there. Twilio over that close is definitely strong. MBIS selling off. GFS rough. Bloom Energy getting wrecked. A lot of these names are kind of in no man's land. It's almost depressing looking at them so zoomed out in terms of opportunity because it's just been so choppy. Boy, Pure Storage bounces don't bounce. STM is wedging. It's tempting to jump into the networking names like Light, but they're just been on crazy runs. I think they're going to pull a SanDisk and roll over. PHM is kind of choppy, but holding in there. BIIB holding in there. What else? MTD going sideways, go ignore that. Rocket Lab got wrecked. Space got wrecked. Alright, I can zoom in again. SATS finally pulling back. SATS could be an interesting short, actually. Maybe I said that already. I don't know if I did. What else? A lot of names here. There's that Viking. Yeah, that cruising stock. NBIS I don't think looks good. Ahad, what do you think? I think the The NVIDIA investment's great and all, but this looks very unviable. Unless it bottoms and holds this level. I don't even truly understand what they do. They do like GPU clusters. So I think they do like, see, they just do a lot of weird stuff. Data for generative AI development. It's like a holding company. And then they're in the Netherlands. It's just weird. Like, I don't know if NVIDIA invested in them just so they could buy their chips. So, yeah, that's what I would say. Let's see what else we got here. ILMN, GFS pulling back, PAAS, Tech, BE, what else? Yeah, Bloom is just getting wrecked. UTHR holding up there. LUV holding up there. Firm selling off. KeyBank, Futu. Yeah. A lot of these are just completely unbuyable, unfortunately. I'm just going to repost this for new folks. Right here. So we'll do that. And then you can do that. That goes right there. That goes up there.
Don't break my heart and do this to me, okay?
And then this is going. So we're live for another 10 minutes on YouTube and X. This is going up. This is going up as well. Selling off there. DLTR holding in there. FSLR holding in there. MTD coming down. Dollar General holding in there. Rocket Lab selling off. CN looks pretty ugly. A lot of these look pretty ugly. CN's in a hot sector as well. Viking holding up there. HPE just moves too slowly. NDRA. IR. SoFi selling off. Mongo holding in there. Natural gas might get a bit, it might not. UAL holding strong. STT. EL selling off. WAV new. eBay selling off CCL, ARES, MLM. Let's see, Reddit selling off. A lot of these just look messy. Probably be weeks before these set up again. NOI selling off. App's holding up there. IDXX. Alright, just gonna have to do this again.